Hi, everyone. Welcome to Talk is Cheap. I'm your host, Miss Carrie, baby. How's everybody doing out there? I have a guest tonight, Miss TaJuanna Taylor, the business coach.
Hey,
She's with her
hey.
input and everything. She's from Georgia. Shouts out to y'all. I was telling her I was just out in the A. Meet me in the A.
Yeah, that's right.
Good
That's
to have
right.
you on here, TaJuanna. How are you doing?
I'm well. Thank you, Miss Carrie, for having me on here tonight. I appreciate you. Enjoy talking with you.
Yes. So just share a little bit about yourself.
All right, a little bit about me, long story short, because we all have one, right?
Yes.
Daughter of the Army, Georgia is what I call home, been here the most. South suburbs of Atlanta is where I reside. I am a lover of a long lasting lipstick, the bolder the better, right? Love
Yes.
everything nostalgic. I am a mompreneur of one, and I also serve others in business, strategic consulting, right? Accountability coaching, all things entrepreneurship.
Right.
So whether you are establishing business and you want to launch a new idea, or you are like, you know what, I've gotten a great idea. I know it'll be profitable. Yeah, I just don't know what to do. I don't know where to start. I'm your girl. I'm one of the people that you want to talk to turn
Yes.
that idea into a real lifestyle that you want to lead and love. So create the life you want and get that idea off the ground, right? Get it going. Let's go.
Yes, great introduction. And it's amazing always talking to you. And us just catching up. I told her, I said we could talk for days. Nah, but it's amazing. And like I said, we're always building lifelong connections here.
Mm-hmm.
And I just want to hear, everything that you have to say tonight. And I know my listeners will enjoy it as well.
Mm-hmm.
Like I
I'm
said,
going to share
it's
while we
amazing.
on.
Yes, thank you. So just saying happy Women's History Month. Yes, it is March 1st. We are here for women empowerment. We are here for mind, for body, self-care,
Yeah.
for mental health awareness, of course, and
Mm-hmm.
just inspiring each and every one of you here today to, like TaJuanna said, take accountability,
Yes.
to be able to maintain your dreams and your goals and your passion, and let's get it. Let's
Yes.
inspire one another. And like we always said, it should not be a time where you're just sitting there and not having anything to do. You will always be working and promoting on yourself and
Yeah.
encouraging others and staying motivated, doing something that you love and everything. So with that being said, a little bit about Women's History Month. Women's History Month, I'm just gonna skip down to the nitty gritty because
Just bring it
there's a
on
lot of
home.
history on these things. But I do like to encourage you guys to, and with factual statements about everything that I do discuss here, and
Mm-hmm.
just have you guys be knowledgeable, and it also makes me knowledgeable as well. But Women's History Month became a month in March 1987, so that's over 30 years that it has officially been a month. And since 1995, presidents have issued to proclaim March of each year as Women's History Month. So it became a month in 1987, and then presidents have actually acknowledged that women do exist. We do matter now. And they
Yes, we
continue
do.
to mark it on the calendars and, you know, make everything go. So just some of the women that have made Women's History Month and have made, have opened up doors for me and TaJuanna and made us want to empower each other and be here for each other and continue making history and our legacy, that it matters, you know. So just some women that are famous within Women History Month is hold on, sorry guys. It's just the like Japanese American camp women. This is just a few things that are on the website that I'm reading from as well. They've made Women History Month great because during the time of the evacuations, women were a lot of people overseas. When people got out of the concentration camps, women were a lot of them that took people in,
Yes.
that took care of the men and women and the children
Yep.
that were in the concentration camps,
Yep.
and also they were a lot of the times that put themselves on the line to protect their children, to protect their husbands, or while husbands were away on the war.
That's right.
Who did they call them? The
They
women.
ran they ran their local economy. They ran their local economy.
Yes, yes, they did. And then a famous singer, Billie Holiday. We all
Hey.
love and enjoy her music. R.I.P. to her. But she was one of the first women in the 1940s that came out, jazz singer. They said a lot of things about Billie Holiday,
Mm-hmm.
and how she looked, how things were going for her and stuff. But she always was an amazing singer and glorified as well.
Yeah.
And then some of the women were the first women to picket or go on strike.
Yeah.
Um, During a lot of times in college, women want to go to school, they want to get an education.
Yes.
So one of the first schools in Georgia is Spelman. It was
Mm-hmm.
all women's
It was
college this
all
morning.
women's and still is.
Just that for example. And then always I love to acknowledge our first African American. They always say Jamaican and Asian and all that. Vice President
Mm-hmm.
Kamala
Mm-hmm.
Harris. She
Yeah.
is amazing.
Yeah.
So just that was just a little things about Women History Month, and just like I said, making you guys are knowledgeable and aware that we have overcame and we are here to stay. Um,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
so I just wanted to talk with that for a moment.
Get rid of women, get rid
Some
of
things that
the
men want to
world.
also talk about. Yes. So some things that me and Tawana will also talk about and bring to you guys' attention as well is the need for counseling. Like I was sharing with her, it is also self-harm month and self-care awareness month, along with Women's History. So just reaching out to people that you feel, no, not that you feel, but that you know of that are going through tough times during this time. I always like to throw that out there that COVID is still around throughout this country, throughout this world, and people are handling it in different ways. And even before COVID, people are always dealing with anxiety, with depression. And even on this show tonight and my previous shows, we always express talk to somebody, find somebody that's close to you, friends, family, because you never know what anyone's going through unless you express that, or you don't shy away from just saying, oh, I'm okay, I'm doing good, I'm doing fine. Those are, like one client had told me before, those are not moods, Miss Carrie. I'm doing fine is not a mood. Tell your mood. And so he would list a lot of things. You say, I'm excited, I'm over exaggerating,
Mm-hmm.
I'm feeling, I'm
He's like,
bubbly,
name it.
I'm smiling. Yes.
Yeah.
Or when
Yeah.
you're angry, I'm angry.
Right.
That's the things that we like to promote here, is just always just having that listening ear and also being that voice, because you
Mm-hmm.
never know what someone is going through. So
True.
just a little bit about counseling. Counseling is defined as a professional relationship that empowers and through within diverse individuals and families
Mm-hmm.
and groups to accomplish mental health, wellness, education, and career goals.
Yeah.
So just a little things about counseling, and like I said, seeking that help that you need.
Yeah.
Don't always think that you're alone or
Mm-mm.
nobody cares about what's going on, because there is somebody out there that does care and that's willing to help you. And not even just because it's their job, but just because they say, well, get somebody that doesn't know you. And then
Right.
you do open up and feel good to talking to them,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
you never know.
Yep.
You like to add something to someone about counseling?
Oh man, it's so significant. I have been a recipient of counseling, right? Since 16 years old was the first time I remember. And I tell this story jokingly now, and my mother and I laugh about it jokingly now, but I was tricked into going to counseling as a result of some of the things that my parents were experiencing and how it was affecting me. And so from that point forward, though, I have been like an advocate. I'm like, go to therapy,
Yes.
right? If you don't feel like you can talk to anybody that because unfortunately, it's the people who tend to be closest to us that often weaponize our
Yeah.
stories, whether intended or unintended. It's all about perspective and awareness, right? And
Yeah.
if you don't feel like you have people that you know that you can go to, and I encourage, even if you feel like, my mom is in the chat, Miss Carrie. She said, sure
Oh,
was. And even if you have people that you do feel safe with, that you can go with, don't wear them out.
Yes.
Don't wear them out, right? You want to walk through life with them as much as heaven will allow. So go to therapy, get some help. So that way you can not only rant or vent, but that you can actually be mobilized through it. I like to use the words or the term, if you will, be responsible. You cannot be responsible if you are not able to what's happening. If you're reactive, if you're always popping off on your emotions, if you always seeing things under a misunderstanding,
Mm-hmm.
you're going to always suffer. You're going to always be struggling. You're going to always be complicated and complex and just have a hard time connecting with others. And you're going to always have a victim mindset. So once you choose to absolutely acknowledge that, you know what, I need help. And this is actually bigger than me. It's happening to me.
Yep.
It's happening around me, but it's not just about me, and me getting help isn't just for me, right? This isn't a decision that's isolated. It affects everybody and will affect people positively, will affect you positively, will have you, be able to keep living beyond what's happened, because while it might be a long bout of whatever you're enduring, right? Because we don't know, sometimes it's short, sometimes it's extended, and depending on the age, sometimes you just kind of a casualty of circumstance, depending on the situation, even in adulthood. Yet getting help through counseling, getting help through therapy, and there are various types, there are various levels. You can choose to be informed. You can look it up. You can tap into your EAP if you're employed, employee assistance program. If you are self-employed, there are resources out here that will absolutely help you. There are hotlines out here that will absolutely help you. Don't suffer in silence with whatever it is that you are going through. You can be supported. You can get help. You are worthy. You are worth overcoming, transcending the situation. And so we hope that tonight and any night beyond tonight, that you will be motivated to get what you need so that you can absolutely succeed.
Yes, great. And really put TaJuanna, like, it just comes to different things that, like you said, just piggybacking off of what you said about, you never know. Like I said, I always like to put out there that you never know what a person is going through, and to stigmatize them or discredit their feelings. It's just, amongst us, and just like, how can you do that? You don't, we always preach about not judging a book by its color or anything, but look at the things that people are going through and the times that we live in as well. And always, in the Black and brown community, we're shunned about, oh, you don't need help, or just go sleep it off, or just go get some medicine, or what's wrong with you? What's going on? And it's just like, how, the audacity
Right.
of you to do those things when you never know what is traumatic to a person, or the experiences that they've been through, and what's triggering for them.
Yes.
So with that being said, TaJuanna, what are some things that in your childhood or in your daily life, even up till now, that you have seek counseling for?
Absolutely. So my parents were together for over 28 years, and I was about 15, 16 when they divorced. So saw a lot of amazing years, saw a lot of really heart-wrenching years, right? And so therapy for that. Going forward, so for my own life, right? I am a mom of one and going through marriage and divorce. Got therapy for that. It was very publicly humiliating. It was absolutely devastating. And there's not a person in their right mind that I know that can go through that much pain and still be alive, and happen so publicly and keep your sanity. Like, I had to get help, right? I had to tell, okay, let me get the attorney thing situated. All right, now let me go get my counselor. All right, let me go get my support group going. All right, let me let my absolute inner circle of family and girlfriends to help me meet, because I don't have biological sisters, right? So it's like, I do family and community by way of the military as well. And it's like, all right, this is what's happening. This is where I am. I know who you are used to me being. This is who I cannot be for you or anybody else right now. There's three things I got to do. I got to rely on God. I got to show up as a woman and a mom, and I got to go do my job. Anything outside of that, please, just wait for me. Wait
Yeah.
for me, push me. If you see I'm not quite giving it all at the moment, like give me a little elbow nudge. But
Mm-hmm.
those are things that I absolutely, absolutely sought out therapy for intentionally. And then there are times in between, right? Because we're just like cars, right? But we're not machines. We
Mm-hmm.
need maintenance. And so there are times in between where I might kind of feel energetically, like mood wise, like, I don't know what that is, kind of trying to come
Yeah.
up on me.
Yeah.
But I feel like something is like either a cloud is fogging over my head, or I just feel kind of like weighed down. I will go ahead and, hey, yeah, can I get on calendar?
Mm-hmm.
Filter that thing out. Figure out what is triggering. Figure out what is happening in life. Is it an associated thing that's happening around me? Is it a time of year? Like is it a
Yeah.
time of month that's happening differently? Is like what is going on in my life right now? What is happening around me in my life right now that could be triggering something that we just move so quickly every day? We get up, we hustle, we bustle, and we go to bed. And we get up, we hustle and bustle and go to bed, and don't give ourselves the chance to process our reality, And
Mm-hmm.
sometimes you can be like, okay, well, I'm fed, I'm clothed, like we're healthy, we got everything we need. What still? Something's bothering. Go get help to
Yeah.
unravel that thing. Don't just overlook it. Underlying stress shows up in different ways for different people. And we know for African Americans anyway, it is the number one killer. You
Yeah.
think, oh, I just got a headache. I get headaches all the time. That's shouldn't be normal, right? Don't
Mm-hmm.
make that your normal. Figure out what it is. Why is this happening? And if there's something that you can do to mitigate that thing, not just medicate. Medicate only addresses the symptoms. It does
Mm-hmm.
not bring you healing. And that's what therapy can do for you. It can bring you a healing, right? That common stuff just won't. Just venting about it won't. Just crying about it, trying to hide away from it won't. And one thing I also want to encourage Ms. Carrie is like turn your suffering into service,
Yeah.
right? When you're going through, don't just wallow and say, woe is me. Do acknowledge you, right?
Yeah.
Find something else constructive to focus on.
Exactly.
Go to that place that you're desiring for yourself and be of service to it. You
Yes.
will stop focusing on what isn't happening to you and you will
Mm-hmm.
start focusing on what is working for you. And
Yes.
you will start being a demonstration of that person that you aspire to be versus just hoping and wishing. That's not going to get it, And so those just instances like that are things that, again, everyday stuff people overlook. Parenting even, right? In my
Mm-hmm.
motherhood journey, I have sought parenting groups,
Yes.
programs, and
Yeah.
even counseling to say, okay, I know I'm showing up for her. I know
Mm-hmm.
I'm providing for her. I know I'm giving her, the best community life, right?
Yeah.
Between her father and our co-parenting relationship
But
and
am I
my
attentive
side.
to the needs?
Yes, but
Yeah.
I still sometimes still just don't quite feel like enough.
Yeah.
What am I missing? Like what am I why am I do I feel like I'm not measuring up when I feel like I'm giving her everything that I've got? What is it?
Yeah.
Getting help to help filter that because we can be our own worst critics. And
Mm-hmm.
so, comparison is the thief of joy. So if
Yeah.
you find yourself walking through life and you're saying, "Oh, well, they've got this and they've got that," don't do it
Yeah.
as much as possible. And it's easy to say don't.
Yeah.
Reflect though, right? Like it's okay to be inspired, but don't own what's not yours to own because you don't know what price that person paid to either have that level of peace or
Mm-hmm.
to have that seemingly level of
Yeah.
peace, right?
Yes.
Keep up with you and take care of you. Make sure home is your first priority, your first ministry. And as you are well, you are far more able to go out and be well for others. Rise by lifting others and keep serve others willfully. Do the thing that you know you were created to do. Like
Mm-hmm.
you can create a life that you want to love
Yeah.
and lead, right? And success is defined in so many more ways than money. Money is one great component of it, but it can't
Yeah.
be the only thing. If that's the case, we wouldn't have so many wealthy people self-sabotaging
Mm-hmm.
and or committing suicide, self-harm, and they have money, plenty. of money, right? So be real with yourself and choose to get help. You are not the only one challenged with anything.
Yes, great, amazing. And you on a roll here now. Yeah, TaJuanna is amazing, guys. And just like I said, just reiterating some things that she hit on, um, about building those healthy, and that goes into our next question as well. Building those healthy relationships.
Yeah.
Myself, I want to butt in and be like, "Hey, I only found me too." Now, so I relied a lot on, like you said, cousins or my best friends. Are amazing. They support me through a lot of things. Just because we are the same age as well, and they don't have siblings that are close to them right now, or things have gotten, going on, or they don't have a family that is as close as mine. So I'm like, those are my sisters. And then, like I said, I relied a lot on my cousins because I do have a very family oriented background and things that we do together, and we got on. Like, this COVID thing has been like really killing us.
I can imagine.
Just to do mental health checks, even when we don't know that we're doing it. You don't have to say, "Oh, I'm about to do a mental health check. How are you doing?" You don't necessarily do that, but it's just like, how are you guys doing it? That abundance of joy that comes out from just seeing one another and knowing that they can get on this video, this live with you today, and that everything is okay. And then also, just like you said, finding something to do. I think a lot of times within the mental health community, or just us in general as people, we try to stay busy to hide the things that cannot be hidden. And then we also don't want to, the first thing to a lot of like solving problems is knowing and acknowledging that there is a problem. You can't, you can do everything on your to-do list. And still feel empty nested inside to the point where you're like, I can't forget about this, or what's going on. So it just really goes a lot into just about just finding things that you like doing, and staying busy doing the things that you like doing, not trying to boggle down your day with a bunch of things and to make you forget about your problem or the things that's going on as well. So with that being said, and maintaining those healthy relationships and going into healthy boundaries, how do you maintain healthy boundaries and relationships within your community?
Mom duty. You were talking about healthy boundaries. I'm so sorry. Say it one more time for me.
Just talking about healthy boundaries and maintaining a healthy structure and things of that nature. How do you maintain those healthy boundaries and relationships?
So one thing that I strive to do, I am mindful. I'm not going to say I'm always thoughtful, because I'm like, I get tunnel vision. When I got a destination to go, I try to let people know, see you when I get there or when I get back. If I come back, I'm just telling you now. My peers know when I go, I go, even if I have to go alone. So prioritizing myself is one thing that I do, because people aren't always going to be ready to go with you, right? I have done things as simple as, taking myself to dinner, sit at the bar and eat, right? Something pre-COVID, right? I have done something as significant.
This cup of water for lunch, but I finished rest.
Okay.
Well, I drank some water, but not all.
Okay, sweet pea. Right. I have gone to concerts by myself, because again, you don't want to make the investment in you. That's okay. I'm going to have this experience. Like, I believe in the oxygen mask approach, right? The airplane approach. When you get on an airplane, what does the stewardess say? What does the flight attendant say? Put on your oxygen mask first, and then you can assist the passengers around you. So if I am completely burnt out, if I am completely spent, if I have zero interest on what TaJuanna wants, what TaJuanna needs, how TaJuanna needs to shape her reality, curate her reality so that I can be present for other people, I don't have anything to offer you. You want from me what I don't have to give, because my cup is empty. So that's one thing I do, is I do prioritize me. but I don't do it with the intent to be selfish. You know, the other thing I do is I say, okay, here are the options that I make available, right?
Yeah.
If we share synergy, we will find a common ground. If we can't find a common ground, then maybe the time is not right now.
Yeah.
Right? It depends on where we are in space in life. It depends on where we are, distance. It depends on where we are with our children. Again, nothing is isolated. And so have we considered all of the factors that need to be considered to make this a reality? And then one thing that my peers who absolutely know me, my closest of close people who know me, Carrie, I will say quickly, let's be intentional and put it on a calendar.
Yeah.
Now I had one, we're no longer close, but I had one person that was in my life at one point was like, you always so formal. And I was like, no, I'm intentional, because you and I both know if we don't put a date to it, our intentions will be good, but that Saturday will come and go 3 times from now before we actually revisit the conversation to say, we were supposed to go hang out.
Mm-hmm.
I'm always, even if it's a phone call, I'm always like, look, I'm just preoccupied, right? I'm a mom of 1. I'm a full-time entrepreneur. I do a lot of volunteering in my network, for the church ministry, for my family, for my friends, whatever the needs may be. If I have it to give, I will give. And right now, time is the greatest thing I can offer, because we're not as mobile as we used to be. And so I'm like, look, I'm gonna send you my calendar link. Hop on the call. I'm not trying to be funny. I want to make sure I show up to what I committed, because it's not that I don't want to. I just forget, because I'm focusing. It's a lot of moving parts. So those are 3 things that I do. Be intentional, make a date out of it, right? And then make sure that you're doing things that also interest you. You're not just doing it just to please other people. It's for you too. Even a job interview, it's mutual. Yeah. You're not the one that's just being interviewed. You ask them questions too. Same thing with business. It's not an opportunity if it costs you everything. I share that with my clients all the time, Carrie. I said, if it costs you everything, that's not an opportunity. It needs to be some reciprocity in there that makes sense to you, because you want to stay loyal to your commitments after the mood has left in which you set them in. So whether that's work, whether that's family, whether that's companionship, whether that's parenting, whether it's crafting, if you made a promise, keep it. Keep it. So being intentional by really, analyzing, what is it that I'm doing? Where am I going? Why do I want to be present in that space? When does it need to happen? And what am I going to do to make it happen? If I can answer those questions, I can give you an informed decision. Yes. So those are things that I encourage.
Yes. And also just, what you're promoting here, TaJuanna, is just accountability.
Oh, huge.
Yes. For for yourself. And like I always express as well, and tell others, when you're investing within yourself, you get you together as much as you can. We're not perfect, but we accommodate ourselves first, and then we can accommodate a partner. Then we can accommodate our family members, our children. Even with, being a dog mom, I can't, if I'm not all together, it's going to look like a sad day in this household.
Right? Dog not going to get let out, not fed.
Yeah, she's not like next to me all day. She's not going to get fed the correct way. Like, it's a lot of things that go on. It's similar to, like you said, you and your child, and how you guys interact with, or how you interact with people on a day-to-day basis. Yes. And that's what we're promoting here, guys, and influencing you guys as well to get, invest in you, get you together first, and then you can accommodate yourself and accommodate others. Because when you wake up on that wrong side of the bed or having that terrible morning, it's written on your face most of the time that people can notice. What's wrong with you? What's wrong with TaJuanna? What's going on there? And then we hate to get asked those questions. Then we're saying, okay, should I go in the bathroom? Should I fix myself? How's my face looking? Yeah, am I too rested? Or or you start thinking about that maybe nothing is going on. But appearance is also key in that, because once you do have that bad day, or that something goes on, God triggers you, or things in life trigger you. You get stuck in traffic. It's a hell of a day.
Everything.
And everything going on when you don't have that intentional informing,
Yes.
or that time to put everything on a schedule. And then you also have to have adaptability to change that.
Yep.
Maybe that scheduling won't go on that day, but
Yep.
let's reschedule, let's regroup, and
Flexibility.
we can meet it. Yes,
Yes.
yes, flexibility, and we can meet again sometimes. I know it
Yeah.
happens to the best of us, right?
That's right. And I love that you emphasize flexibility because, a plan is a roadmap. It's not a guarantee. And some people
Yes,
get so hard set on the plan. And when the plan doesn't go as well, they get their britches all in a wad, and it's like, hey, it's a roadmap. Sometimes you might have to take a detour. The destination doesn't change. If it means that much to you, you will still get there. You just find another way. You just find another way. So if you got to walk, if you got to get on a boat, if you can't take the plane, you got to take a train,
yes,
right? You just find another way, but the destination doesn't change. So whether it's how you intend to feel throughout that day, whether it's how you intend to pursue whatever it is you're pursuing or what you're pursuing, whether it is, where you want to live, what you want to drive, how you aspire to be, you have the autonomy. You have the autonomy to make it happen regardless of what's going on around you. Just know you might have to find another way. Just know, it might take a little bit more time, but you can still get there. It might take a little bit more of, effort. You can still get there. It might cost you a little bit more money. You can still get there. Find another way by any moral means necessary. Get there. Get there.
Amazing. So next, just going on, like I said, you're so great. You're just like our conversation, just leading on to our next thing.
Awesome.
Just like we said, coming to you guys and promoting just a lot of information and self-care, self-awareness, and those counseling points that when you get off that, your roadmap, things are destined for you. But if you get off, don't we're off into the deep end and say, oh well, I won't worry about that till next year, next month, or even putting off things to next week that are small and that can be handled. Get back into the focus and be motivated to reach that goal, and to even just to have, strive in the effort to have that good day, and maintain that. So some things, as a business coach, TaJuanna, I know you speak to, a lot of people, and just holding things accountable, holding people accountable for starting that business and meeting their goals. Because it's amazing to become an entrepreneur and see that I'm thinking money. But if you're thinking money, what we always say, you got to focus on the reasons of why you do it, and having a passion for your business. So as being a business coach, what are some things that your clients are struggling with as far as starting their business, and coming to you in that time of need?
Of course. See, this is that this is that mom thing. All right, passions with business, right? Come back to me one more time, Miss Carrie. I appreciate you working with me.
Being a business coach, what are some things that your clients struggle with as far as starting a business and staying motivated within that goal?
Oh, so timing, right? Everybody wants it to happen fast. And there are some things that can happen fast. They happen as quickly as you commit to them. That's when things start happening. And the success really occurs before you ever get to whatever that big goal is. It's all of the steps that you take along the way, right? And celebrating those mile markers along the way, because without those, you won't get to the big finish. So timing is something that people usually struggle with because they want to get there and they want to get it quick. They wake up with the idea and thinking, I gotta manage the whole thing right now. And no, you don't. You can phase it out, right? You are a living, breathing being. You are not a machine, and you don't have to do everything alone. People say entrepreneurship is lonely. Only if you make it. It does not have to be lonely. That is the point of networking. That is the point of outsourcing. That is the point of you functioning in your strengths and collaborating with others to help elevate their strengths And together, you guys can get it accomplished. And I share this with you from over 15 years of project management experience in small business and state government, over 9 awards in leadership, social impact, implementation, exemplary service, all that stuff to say the power is in you to humanize, right? Be a human in business. Shout out to my ladies. Sorry, YouTube, we have that. Be a human in business and collaborate with people. Invite people in. And if you run into an instance where you have not been invited, that is okay. That is okay. You keep moving with your movement and attract the people who want to support you in it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And respect that also there's 2 types of support that you want in business, Carrie. People make the mistake in thinking that because you're my mom, because you're my brother, because you're my boyfriend, because you're my, my wife, because you're my cousin, because we've been best friends since childhood, you're supposed to buy with me. You're supposed to shop with me. You're supposed to, all that's cool if they're your ideal customer.
Yes.
If they are not your ideal customer, don't force it. They're not going to be satisfied with what you have to offer. You don't want to shop with and spend your money with things that don't make sense to you, or your time with things that don't make sense to you because you're not passionate about it. You can have moral support from them. And that moral support is what sustains you when that business plan doesn't go as planned, when you hit those highs and lows, those hills and valleys.
Open it and then shake it and then just spill it out.
That's okay. You got a spoon? Stir it up. And those hills and valleys come. When you hit those valleys, that's where the moral support kicks in. Because social media, they'll love you today and fall completely off your page tomorrow. Okay, so you have to absolutely know your why. You have to absolutely stay anchored to what it is that you're doing it for. And it's got to be more for than just the money, because when you hit certain levels of success, whether it's financial or not, when you get there, sometimes you get to the top and say, oh, that's it. Like, really? I was hoping for a little bit more excitement once I accomplished this thing. So have a deeper rooted why as to how you are moving. And then I like to encourage people, Carrie. It should be, sweetheart. I like to encourage people, Carrie, have a dragnet, right? So multi-passionate entrepreneurs. You and I talked about it. You're a multi-passionate entrepreneur. I'm a multi-passionate entrepreneur. Most of the people are multi-passionate entrepreneurs, high-achieving visionaries. Yet you got to get focused so that you can scale into those opportunities, right? So think about a water in a strainer, right? You can fill up a cup a lot more quickly if it were just concentrated going in the cup versus you pouring out in 17 different directions and wondering why you can't get traction because you're only one person.
Wow.
Right? And if you're doing it alone, if you haven't outsourced, if you haven't brought on a team, if you haven't done things to absolutely bring together that opportunity, make sure whatever you are pursuing that it's a dragnet, right? So let's say you're a public speaker. You're a public speaker. You got to talk. You got a central message. Well, with public speaking being your core foundation of everything, you can turn some of what you're saying into quotes and you can make yourself t-shirts. Okay, boom. It's not costing you anything extra. You're just being you. You're just taking what you normally would say and you're applying it to a t-shirt. Now you got 2 streams of income. Okay, and then from that t-shirt, you decide, you know what, I'm going to sit down and author. You don't have to write it all out yourself. You can get a publishing company to come in. If you say, whoa, TaJuanna, I'm not at that level yet. That's expensive. Okay, then start writing. Right? Commit to writing. Okay, boom, you publish that book. That's 3 streams of income. How much more, though, did that take you down the road? It didn't, because it all started with your central theme. So make sure whatever it is that you're pursuing, that you have a central theme and that there can be multiple opportunities in that central theme. And if you're like, well, I'm already doing all of this stuff and I don't know if it's working for me, let's have a talk. Send me a DM and let's figure out, let me look at from the outside what you have going on and help you find a strategy for really being efficient and maximizing your opportunities in business. Because when you have a dragnet and everything can fit under a central theme, you can mobilize lives so much more efficiently, right? You could be so much more effective with getting your message out, with building the traction and making bank. Like, don't have a problem with making money. We're just saying, don't make it all about the money, right? But we're not in business to not make money. Otherwise, remain to be employed. Don't take on all the risk. Get your benefits.
All right.
And live the life that you want to live. There's nothing wrong with that. If you are saying, on the other hand, I don't want anybody to tell me this and I don't want any limitations on that, then you go into entrepreneurship. But understand, it comes with a heavier load and you've got to be willing and ready to navigate it. And you've got to be willing and ready to call out on help, right? To say, how do I do this? What can I do better? What can I do more quickly? What do I need to let go of? Just because you think it's a great idea doesn't mean it's what the market perceives. Right? So be willing to be conscious, get feedback so that you can present the best possible opportunity that you can for yourself and for the people that you intend to be serving. So get time in check, get your focus in check, get your deeper rooted why in check, and you will be well. You will do well. You will have much success in life, intangibly and tangibly. And hey, you can actually have something to leave for your legacy for future generations. Yeah.
Yes, come on, TaJuanna.
I love it. We can talk about this all night.
I love her too, but she gets to go. I'll be over here like we in charge. Hey man,
I love it.
Because she just built you a business.
Look, I tell you all the time.
For, like I said, I can't express enough. Like we always talk about, and just supporting us on, both for our platforms as entrepreneurs. We have structure from our own professionals that we have done. You being a project manager for so long as well, and also one of my fellow mental health professionals, and then me being, branching out from social work to make it bigger than just working and having a job as well. And like we said, we're not encouraging people to quit your job. They'll start. No, not at all. But it's just
you're in a better shape when you're employed and start one.
Yes, it's about doing something that you're passionate about. And when other people see your passion presented, they'll love it as much as you, or even more.
Or even more. Or even more. I tell people are like, that miscarried. They're like, I see you all over the place. And I'm like, oh, well, my motto this year, like I keep it simple, right? My motto this year was to increase value and visibility through collaboration. I can't get on every platform by myself. I can't reach every potential audience that I intend to reach, who will be my ideal customers, by myself. But I can come and talk to your audience and let them know something that they may have not thought of through this purview, right? Through this perspective. That doesn't hurt anybody. If somebody is touched, great. We can have a deeper conversation. We can further the introduction. If they're not, that's okay. It was practice, right? It's a good way. It's a good way to practice and get feedback on the message, the mission, the vision, and keep it going. So yes, like tap into.
And some of your biggest people don't see. And I even had to realize that myself, like you were saying, as friends and family, maybe that's not my targeted audience to just say, I love for them to support me. And I push my significant others to support me regardless. You better watch. No. But at the same time, just seeing them tuning in is just enough for me to say, well, hopefully they got some. If they didn't, then they don't have to. But also this has helped me have that connection, not just only with you, TaJuanna, but a lot of other guests and a lot of listeners that have come on, and just embracing that and just being satisfied with things that are how things are going now, and appreciate those things.
Appreciating
and
now.
You never know what's yet to come that can be a greater platform. Because I've always told people, I make money off this thing. Okay, that's great. But that's not my
it's not your soul mission.
My sole purpose for
right.
The end as well. It's just to help one another and for us to come together and, like I present that to you guys, promote yourself, promote your story, and for us to come together to get that across, because it's people that are going through things that they can't even talk about.
Yeah.
And then from to hear an inspirational story as yourself, and just to hear me talk on here every Monday night, it's just, enough for me, and overcoming enough for me to continue to do this, regardless if I have a lot of listeners to if I have one listener or zero.
Yep.
It's still touching
It's still
somebody.
touching.
Yeah.
Yep. And there was a, I think it was last week in my Facebook group, I was sharing with the ladies in that group, Carrie, I said, our stories are not all that unique, but they still need to be told, right?
Yes.
When we actually have the courage to speak on our lives, we realize like you said earlier, me too. Like, right? Like, wow. And it's not that you're rallying over the pain of what happened. You're realizing that you're not walking through this life experience in isolation. What you encountered may have been a different why, may have been a different point in time, but there's one thing that every single one of us living here on earth can absolutely connect with, and that is the sentiment of being disappointed.
Yes.
Right? Whatever your it is, that's it. Own your it. Don't let the identity of it, though, consume you. Yet you can connect with somebody else because you understand what it's like to have had an unmet expectation.
Yes.
I don't care how small, I don't care how big. You know what that pain feels like. And you can also come over it. You can go through it. I do not encourage people to go around pain because it's going to come up at the worst time possible. Just when you think you've gotten things under control, just when you have met that thing in your life that you've always longed for, just when that house you've been hoping to get, just when everything feels great with the world, that nasty root is going to come up and crack your foundation wide open because you did not resolve that issue earlier on. So don't go around the pain. Feel the pain. And that's why we're saying get help with that thing. Get help with that thing. So that way you can endure it if you have to endure, so that you can make the informed decision to walk away when you have to walk away, so that you can set healthy boundaries. If you've always been a doormat, like, listen, go through it so that you can transcend from it and that you can raise somebody else up with your transparency, with your courage, right? With the vision that have because of what happened. Like, live life in community and know that it is okay if people have a different perspective, if people have a different motive, a different mission, if people have a different timing. Support comes in different forms and at different levels. And I listen, I'm real good loving people from a distance. Real good. Like, and it's no fight and no harm, no foul. Everybody doesn't understand it. The other person might not even feel good about it. I literally have told one friend, I said, I just don't want an opinion on it because I wanted to respect the space in which she moved. Right? If you didn't tell me about it from the onset and you didn't want me to be a part of its development, I'm going to take the stance that you don't want me in that deep. So I'm going to love it and support it from a distance. And as a business professional, if there's anything that you need about it, you want to know how to make it better, how to enhance it, how to optimize it, how to put a workflow, a process, a system, a strategy. I'm right here. I'm right here. I don't have to listen to a thing as far as what you put out. But for you, whatever you need, right? And so, because the audience, I'm not the audience anyway, right? So it's like just learning how to protect your space and say no when you need to, because no releases you. No is an acronym. A lot of people take no personally. And a lot of people take no as in like you are the one being rejected. People aren't just saying no to you. It came from you. So you're a recipient of the no, but the no isn't about you. The no is about what works for them. So no is an acronym for next opportunity. N-O, next opportunity. When you choose to see it that way, right? Because you can take ownership. If you've done something wrong and you know it, or somebody has brought something to you, you can say, okay, I apologize if this is not what I intended, or this is what I intended and this is what I'm sticking to because it was appropriate. When you know what's well for you, and that's why you got to know you first, right? Before you go trying to lead other people. When you know what's well for you, it's okay to say no. It's okay to walk away. It's okay to step back or even step aside. It's not taking anything from you. What's for you will not pass you by. Right?
Yeah.
You can move in the essence that you need to move in because you're doing so with the proper motive. Your opportunity is not missed. If it's for you, it's going to be yours and you won't have to do anything to get it. That's what divine miracles are about. And they happen. They happen every single day. Every single day. I can a
Every
bucket
day.
list this year. We don't even have time to go through it.
Yeah.
I can tell you just from authoring to Seth being on a live webinar with Seth Golden, getting
Yeah.
accepted into his Akimbo marketing program on a scholarship, like things that
It's great.
I've got absolutely no justification for that are
Mhm.
happening this year, Carrie.
Yeah.
I did not seek them out. I did not ask anybody
Mhm.
for them. Most of them I haven't even articulated. I just got them on my vision list right
Yeah.
here. They're on my vision list and they're just unfolding because I'm just showing up and having good motive and I have faith. Right? It's by grace. All of these things are happening by grace for me. I believe in Christ. And it is by grace that these things are happening. I also believe they're happening because I'm sowing seeds. I can't control where they're gonna blossom, but where you sow is not always gonna be where you reap. And so I'm sowing seeds over here, and I'm reaping harvests over here that I didn't even perceive. Yet, if I look at my list and tie it down to the root of it, it's manifesting. And I'm like, and it's only March 1st. What?
Manifestation's real.
It's real. It's
Yeah.
real. So make a vision of it, make it plain, call it, and then take the small steps to work towards accomplishing what you need to accomplish. And I believe as you are working, that you are given great assistance along the way.
Yes.
Show up for you, show up for you.
Yeah, and be there and strive. When you strive for any opportunity, nobody can take that away from you. What's for you will be for you. It's in your faith, it's in your fate, it's in your foundation. The 3 F's of certain things. Because when you have God on your side, nothing can be, it's for you or held against you. And once you, like you said, when you walk in the faith with that, I think my podcasters and my listeners, know that I am big on Christianity, and not just to spear off into that, but like we said, we're always manifesting things and praying to God that we are blessed. Even if it's just something that's short term within you, to say that, thank God I'm not living off the street, or thank God that He woke me up, or this is the abundance of opportunities that are happening to me, as TaJuanna stated. Those things are great. You don't sit up there and say, oh, she's getting a lot of things. What is she doing to get these things? She's just walking by faith and striving every day to do her best
every day
and to challenge herself within that best. And if she's noticed or she goes unnoticed, it's all working itself out in her favor, as it is. And that's what a lot of people don't understand. They're saying, oh, well, is Carrie and TaJuanna talking about that I need to go ahead and write down all these goals if I decide to complete them or not? No, we're not saying that. We're saying write down the goals that you do want to complete. Put a time limit on some of these things, and check off the list as you make these changes and adaptability for you to become that person on those goals that you want to get to.
Yep.
And I know there's a lot for you guys. But we're always here to help you.
We're here to help.
Because me and her are so similar, because I make a list as well. So we know it's not just to say that, oh, be like us or influence God, but it's just for us to say that, nobody can take your goals away from you. And you have to challenge yourself before anybody else can see who you are and see your vision. How can someone else see your vision if you haven't presented it and brought it to the table?
Absolutely.
And it's just, people can talk all day. That's why I do talk is cheap, because talk is cheap.
Look.
It's just telling you to put an action behind the things that you stand for. And you also know that once you stand for it, you can't stand alone.
Nope. And there was a quote, I'm looking for it right now. Oh man, by our, amazing Amanda Gordon.
Yeah.
And she talked about hope. Oh man. Of course, any other day is right here in my face.
And
but
that's
it's basically
more
like
women's history. I love Amanda.
Yeah, more women's history, right? I mean, amazing. Yes. But it basically says hope is not something we demand of others. It's something we demand of ourselves. Right? Yeah. And so when we first demand it from us, we can have the audacity
Yeah.
to step out and say, Carrie, I've got this thing going on. Would you like to hear about it? Here you go. Right?
Yeah.
And you're like, well, yes, let's lean in and have this conversation. Let's talk about it. Let's do it. But if you're not sharing because you don't first believe, look, it's going to be a difficult road.
About it.
Yes, it can be your enthusiasm. You don't have to know. And what we're not saying is know every step, know all the way. No, you're not going to. Life is unpredictable. Life is absolutely unpredictable. And that's why we say a plan is a roadmap, not a guarantee. You have a path of the least resistance, right? You have an easier way that you want to get there. In the event that doesn't happen, though, when chaos comes, you're not taken off guard. You're not just blowing away in the wind because you know where you were going. So even if you have to pause for a moment, right? Sometimes we have to take an adult pause with your mouth, your body, with your money, with your time. Sometimes we have to take an adult pause and then go forward. And sometimes you have to just go forward another way, with or without person, thing, whatever by any moral means necessary, you accomplish your dream. It's really, I know it's complex because it's life, and it's even more complex when we bring people into it because we are complex beings. But it's just that simple. Have a focus. Have a destination. Know what matters to you, so that you are not
focused. Keep your eye on the prize.
Oh man, yes. So that is something that what you've expressed, that I have a D.O.N.E formula. It's an acronym, D.O.N.E. I walk my clients through it. I talk about it. You know, most times when I'm interviewing, I share with people, define. If you don't know what you want to do, define it first, right? You're always going to find yourself lost, confused, and in overwhelm. And you're going to confuse the people around you and wonder why they're not supporting you, because people don't get with confused, right? They need clarity. So you need to be clear so that you can clearly articulate to them what it is that you have going on and what it is that you need. So define. And if you're like, no, TaJuanna, I already know what I want, then make a decision. Because if you're not functioning in it yet, if you're not going towards it yet, you haven't yet decided where you're going, when you're going to start, why you're doing it, what you're going to commit to get there. So make a decision. We cannot execute ideas, but we can execute decisions. So make a decision today about what it is that's important to you and stick to it. And if you fall off, you get back up and you stick to it again. We are human, right? Then own it. Don't just throw it out there in the wind and hope somebody else is going to pick it up. That's you. That's your goal. That's your vision. It's meant for you to walk out. And again, you will be given great assistance along the way. And then nurture it. The N in the D.O.N.E formula, Carrie, is nurture. Nurture that thing by identifying. Give yourself permission to pause and plan, right? Everybody's like, take messy action. I'm not so much on the messy action as I am the imperfect action. Take imperfect action, right? But don't be just crazy, sloppy, messy, because then sometimes we can get ourselves in even more trouble, right? We can create situations that we didn't intend. Give yourself time, permission to kind of map it out, to identify, okay, I'm good at this. I'm not so great at that. Let me go. Carrie, you do this podcast stuff. Can you, by chance, could I be a guest? Or by chance, could you tell me what platform you use to live stream? I know you do it in more than one place. How do you do that? Right? Ask for help. Identify who you need. You'll see in business groups all the time, what do you need and who do you need to meet? You'll see those two questions all the time because people are ready and willing to support your dreams. And then E, in order to execute it effectively and efficiently, Carrie already told you earlier, and you heard me say, be intentional. Back that thing to a calendar, right? By end of quarter 2, June 30, I'm going to have X, Y, and Z, and then reverse engineer that thing. Every week from this point until that date, what needs to happen to get that goal accomplished? Even if it's just a portion of it, move towards it. And that's the D.O.N.E formula. That's how you get stuff done. It doesn't have to be, super crazy. It doesn't have to seem super foreign. Just start with, what is it that's important to me? What's important to me? And then, okay, now what can I do to get going?
Yes, and funny story, TaJuanna. within the D.O.N.E formula, guys. I even execute and maintain my off days.
You
I
better be
literally
loyal
have
to
put a,
yourself.
yes, I actually put a PTO day on my calendar. Or if I'm gonna quit something, sometimes you quit things.
Yes.
I put that on my calendar, and I believe in that, and that's just the humor of it all. But
Yeah.
I actually do end up taking my my humorous moments seriously and saying,
Yeah.
okay, I really am gonna stick to this date.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what life is all just about. Not even just the important things in life, but
Mm-hmm.
sometimes the self-care, the fun things in life as well. Because a lot of people execute their time on taking a vacation, but
Mm-hmm.
won't complete their goals.
Right. Right.
Or a lot of people take a time on executing, going off the deep end, but just having to, if somebody was to die in your family, you're sitting there to hurry up and plan a funeral, but you're not sitting there to, hurry up and plan a baby shower for somebody or something that is great and congratulating them.
Right.
Or a
Right.
lot of times people can sit up there and say, "Oh, I'm gonna go back to school and talk, 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 talk." But have you put a date to better yourself or to better
Starting.
your life or to strive to complete that? Because they have deadlines. Applications have deadlines.
Yes, they
They have
do.
a deadline.
Yes, they
So how are
do.
you moving through this thing? And like you
Yeah.
said, you can't look for somebody else, or I can't come to you, TaJuanna, and
Mm-hmm.
say, "Hey, I need a business coach. This is my business," and watch you put it all together. The
Nope.
most important in your business is the you.
That's right. That's
You
right.
need you
I
to yes.
I
To
literally tell people, do not refer me to anybody that you know that's not ready to make a decision. I'm not their person.
yeah,
I'm not their person. We're all about strategic action.
exactly.
And I'm
So
going to
when it
ask
comes to
you,
the small things,
yes,
there's planning. I'm making the point here just about planning your next off day or
yes,
that self-care time for yourself.
yes,
That those are things that should be duly noted to say that I'm going to maintain and strive my best to get such and such done before this date, or
mm-hmm,
by the time I am ready to take that next vacation or have some fun, that
mm-hmm,
I will do it for this date. And don't put that date off, because then you're sitting up there, you collected all these tasks and things that you need done, and
yes,
you haven't even took any time for yourself. You haven't
yes,
even um, maintained something or met that goal that you plan just for
mm-hmm,
you to do
yep,
whatever you want to on that day. So
yep,
how can you expect yourself to uphold something that is bettering you in life, or something that is, your boss say meet a deadline,
yeah,
and now here you are. And like, it goes back to what you said, Tawana, some of the biggest things that your clients struggle with, or people struggle with in general, is time
mm-hmm,
and time
mm-hmm,
management,
yep,
and being on time,
and
and
being on time,
and seeking that time, and
mm-hmm,
meeting those goals as well.
yep, yep,
So with it being, we've hit on it quite a few times, but just empowering women and Women's History Month. And like we said, guys, we're not counting you out,
no, not at all,
but just, the qualities of people. And, we always like to see the good qualities as well
mm-hmm.
as focus on negative things as well. But just what are the good qualities of an empowered woman,
The
and
good
how
qualities.
women be empowered while maintaining their femininity?
The good qualities of an empowered woman and how you can maintain your femininity.
Yes.
Oh man. So I would have to say a good quality of an empowered woman is one who has a deeper sense of her identity, right? So remember that we've all experienced life disappointment. So whatever it is that has happened, whether you chose to do it or whether you were a casualty of circumstance, it does not define you. Make the decision that you are worthy, that was a moment in time, that is not your entirety, right? And go forward. If what happened, right, is a characteristic that you've been living and you no longer want that to be your reality, you can make a change.
Okay.
You can make a change, right? I tell you all the time, the poise TaJuanna that you see, and my peers, they're gracious. They're like, no, you've always had like a, you've always had a poise. But the woman that you see now is not always the woman that I was. I've made some really terrible decisions in my life. I'm still recovering from some of them, right? Yet it doesn't stop me from holding my head up. It doesn't stop me from being a woman. It doesn't stop me from having great life experiences. It doesn't stop me for showing up for my family, for my friends, for motherhood,
Yes.
right? It doesn't stop me from pursuing the career that I believe I was designed and purposed for.
Mm-hmm.
You can choose who you want to be. And she starts right here, right now. Make decisions that will promote your future self, right? And start doing those things now and watch the compound effect happen. So that's one thing. Know your deeper identity. Another characteristic of an empowered woman is a woman that's not afraid to ask for help.
Yeah.
Right? And sometimes we don't know we need it. I know I have been guilty of that. I'm so used to doing things for myself. I'm so used to doing things on my own. I'm so used to very minimalistic, right? Very simple. I like nice things. I like them in quality.
Yes.
I don't believe certain stuff. I don't believe in buying over and over again, like furniture.
Mm-hmm.
No, we're going to get it good the first time.
Yeah.
We're not going to be back at the store every 6 months or a year buying the same piece of furniture over and over again. No. However, I like to live a simplistic lifestyle. And so it's like, what is it that you need? And making sure that you have what you need for your reality, being okay with that. And when you're not okay, can you help me? Right? This is what I've done. This is what I foresee. However, I think I need a little bit help on this journey. Can you help me? That is empowerment. That is leadership, knowing that you are not carrying the burden all by yourself. That's why we do life in community, right? We're made for connectedness. Another characteristic of an empowered woman, I would have to say, is integrity, right? We're not talking about perfection here. We're talking about be who you said you were going to be. Do what you said you were going to do. Over deliver, under promise, right? Under promise and over deliver. Try not to overcommit to your detriment, right? You've heard Carrie say prioritize. Set it. You put a date on your calendar for you. Put a time block on your calendar for you. And keep loyal. And I'm going to tell you, even though I'm a practitioner of that thing, it is not easy. It is easy for me to say, oh, for me, I'll do it later because I really want to help this person. Or, oh, my baby needs me right now. So I'll put myself aside. Try to keep yourself as much of a priority as you do everything else, because if you are not well, if you do not have your proper mind, if you do not have your proper health, right, you're going to be little good to anybody else. So get help, prioritize yourself, and be integral. Those are things that I truly believe empower you as a woman. And through those things, you can make more informed decisions about your reality. You can choose to rely on faith instead of your feelings. Right? Mentally, emotionally, physically, financially. You don't have to sell yourself short for anybody. Right? You're not obligated to do anything for anybody. And so when you are well, you can move forward in your reality well. And so those are the characteristics. And then protecting your femininity, again, none of these things are isolated. When you take care of you, you can do the things for you that will help you show up as your best you. For me, I have locks. So I don't primp and I don't primp and press in my hair every day. Right. But if there's two things that I love to do, even when I'm not feeling my greatest, you will find me with a long lasting lipstick and some mascara. Right. Two simple things that I like to do for me. Take a walk. Things I like to do for me. Right. If you want to buy yourself something, I'm an active service person. So I like time and nostalgia more than anything. If you're a person that's like, yes, it's like if you like stuff, prioritize, right? Prepare, plan, or be producing enough to afford the stuff you're gonna get, right? So that way you can actually enjoy it and not regret your decisions, So those are things that absolutely are important, are not isolated. And as a woman, we need to do so much more of. I know, Carrie, we're from the same generation, so I can imagine that you have seen, your elders, your more seasoned women I mean, just work themselves to the bone, taking care of everybody else, but perhaps not really making time for themselves. And if there's something that I learned by watching my more seasoned women in my life and absolutely admiring them, leaning towards them, laughing into tears with them, is, baby, take care of yourself. Take care of yourself, so that way you can be around for everybody else.
Yes, well, we put TaJuanna, and I just want to first thank you for being here and supporting. That was amazing, and like I said, you guys just stay inspired, be inspired. I hope that you took things that we said knowledgeable, into consideration. If you're not already doing it, and it's just to, keep you guys intact on, keep your eye, like those, I always end up using some of those old back in the day quotes.
Yep.
Keep your eyes on the prize.
Wisdom is wisdom.
But they are really the way of life. And as you get older, you start to think, and, growing up in a great household and parenting and different things that we have been taught, you do end up saying, man, I wish I would have listened a little bit more. Or I see what they're talking about as you get older, what your parents talk about, your grandparents, what they went through, and how you want to change and not, change those generational curses per se, and meet your goals. Me and TaJuanna talked a lot about legacy and having something, and that's just not being on this earth and living and say, oh, I made it through life. Now you look up, and because time is going, now you look up and you're old and you say, what have you done in your life?
Yeah.
And you don't have anything to show for it or anything to, to feel good about things. So just always stay inspired and meet those goals, even if it's short-term goals or long-term goals. And increase that. And like, I don't even make like New Year's resolutions or anything, because resolutions, I think promises are made to be broken. And a lot of times, especially we say them to ourselves, and then when we tell other people, then it's kind of like they hold us accountable and say, hey, I thought you weren't gonna eat that snack cake right there. But I always make those things, I call them lifestyle changes.
Yeah.
The things that you want to change. It may not change within the next week or within the next month, because things do take time. I'm
minimum
always
21 days.
Yes, I'm
minimum.
always the things take time, and like I'm an essence of things taking time do tell, in due time we'll see. I'm one of those. So it's just about, but ensuring that you do meet those goals and put yourself on that fictional time limit to say, hey, this is something that I really do want to pursue. But let's put a real ideal time on it, and when it can be completed. And so just reading off some comments, and then we'll wrap up here. So thank you for having me and supporting Talk is Cheap as well.
Oh, thank you.
We have some comments here, so we'll just shout those out.
Okay.
So the first one is Electra. She said, hey.
Elantra, that's my cousin.
Okay.
Hey, Lonnie.
And then we have Miss Jones. That's Mom.
That's Mom.
And TaJuanna also said hi to you guys as well. Thank you guys for supporting family.
Yep.
You on the live?
My baby said, you on live?
Hey, baby.
I know, right?
I love her. So, you guys, I love TaJuanna's daughter. She peeks in
all the time.
I feel our interviews, and I love it because she just like, and TaJuanna is great. She multitasks. We see her multitask under that stressful situation. Like, she got, hold on, y'all. I don't care what it is. I'm gonna tend to my daughter. So I love it. I don't have anything to say, because I'm like, I would do the same thing as well. Like, what's going on?
And you learn crisis intervention. Carrie, crisis intervention takes a lot longer than just addressing the situation.
All right now, yeah.
So I'm like, if I just address her for a quick second, we can get back to what we're doing. But if I keep saying no,
girl, we gonna be here.
The interview would have been shut down a long time ago. We would have been like, we're gonna try again, folks.
Anybody else probably would, but I'm like, I know. Like, girls, handle that chat. I don't care. Like I say, I like things to see. It is real. So.
It is real. It is real. And I know some people are like, it's 11 o'clock. Why the baby? Timing. Timing. And she can get a nap in. We'll work it out. Hey, this is single parenting, entrepreneurship. It's all good.
And then we have one of the lovely ladies in my group of networking, my friends as well, fellow mental health professional and business entrepreneur.
Hey.
Denise, she said, "Hey, Carrie."
Hi,
And she also, Denise said a few things.
Yes, she
loved
did.
the points that TaJuanna was also putting out, and she was saying like that part of things that deeply have a deeper rooted why.
She was with us.
Some of the things that we were talking about.
Yeah.
With starting a business, know your passion for it, and
Mm-hmm.
like Denise has said and TaJuanna said as well, have that deeper feeling of why you're doing things. And it's not just about income. Income is great, but when you have that passion, other people see a passion.
Yep.
And then Denise also liked the NO acronym, and she said no is definitely a complete sentence.
Yep.
And then Mother Jones. Yes, we need some God in our lives. But yes, it's great having you here and supporting your daughter and myself. And I love your child.
Thank you. I tell people, I say, you just getting back on my calendar so you can talk to Bailey. You're not trying to talk to me. You just want to say hey with Bailey.
Y'all, it was amazing. I almost was gonna say the last time you had stopped me, so I want to say put her on the camera now.
Right. And it look depending on the day. Sometimes she's here for it, sometimes she beelines it in the other direction. So we never know which side of her we're gonna get.
Yeah, but it was great having you on, TaJuanna. Just to wrap up, any last words and encouraging just that you would like to say to wrap up?
Oh my gosh, I think we've said so much already. I don't want to exasperate the conversation. Thank you. I do want to say thank you for the opportunity to be on the invitation for the conversations we had prior up to now, and I just appreciate everything that you are, everything that you are choosing to do to help transform the lives of other people by day, by night. Like you're walking it out, and it matters. Every minute of it matters. And I'm so grateful to know you. And I look forward to us continuing to support one another as we glow up, because there's so much room. There's so much room for us. Yeah.
Thank you as well. So I just want to wrap up by saying happy Women's Month again.
Happy Women's
Month. Yes. And just like I said, me and like TaJuanna said, we have a lot of things planned throughout this time. We're networking. I'll also be, putting up just those inspirational quotes to get us through our day, through our month, through our year. And always just praying for better, consistency and stability in people's lives, and that things do get better for you guys and just us as well. Anything that either one of us struggling to get through, that I pray that everything gets better for us and we keep on counting those blessings. Like I say, it can be a simple thing. It's just waking up in the morning. That is the sunshine of my day or anyone else's day. So just stay uplifted and promoted during this time. And we love to laugh. I love to laugh.
Oh, the laughter is the best. Let's laugh all as much as we can. Let's laugh, even if it hurts. Laugh. Laugh. That is good for the soul. It really is. So, this has been so great. It's been so great.
It has. Well, thank you, TaJuanna, and thank you for coming to Talk Is Cheap, None Cuts, None Censors. And I love having you, and we'll talk soon. Thank you.
Talk soon.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
So you guys just heard from Miss TaJuanna Taylor, the business coach per se. She's amazing, great young lady, and the connections and the things and the people that she has helped as well is fantastic. She is based out of Georgia. You guys hit out to her if you're ready to start a business or you need that inspiration and just somebody to listen to, your ideas and to hold you accountable for the goals that you want to meet within starting your business or just goals within your life. She's one of the best business coaches to talk to amongst others. They can help you fulfill your goals and your dreams. And then also, there was a lot of things said, and I'm not going to reiterate all of it, but you guys, I hope you guys enjoyed the episode. Like I said, it's just so moving, and I'm always touching. This is therapeutic for me and bringing this information to you guys as well. So I hope you guys enjoy Talk is Cheap, None Cuts, None Censors. I am your host, Miss Carrie Baby, and we are out. Have a good one, guys. Thank you.